Welcome to USF College Daily. I'm Jill Langland.
And I'm Whitney Fryer.
When South Dakotans head to the polls on November 8th, besides voting for president, they will also select a state representative and then either choose between current incumbent Senator John Thune or Democrat Jay Williams. This year, there will also be 10 ballot measures as well.
That's right, Jill, and 5 of those measures are proposed changes to the South Dakota Constitution. This will include Amendment R, which pertains to the governance of post-secondary technical education institutes. Amendment S, also called Marcy's Law, a yes vote will expand victims' rights. A yes vote for Amendment T supports a vote in favor of creating an independent redistricting commission. Amendment U, if passed, will place statutory interest rates for loans, and Amendment V, if passed, will establish nonpartisan elections.
The 5 other ballot measures include Referendum Law 19, which, if passed, would place regulations on those who can sign a petition for independent candidates. A vote yes for Referred Law 20 would decrease the minimum wage for those under 18. If passed, Measure 21 would cap interest rates for short-term loans at 36%. Measure 22 would revise campaign finance and lobbying laws if passed. Then, Measure 23, if passed, will allow nonprofit organizations to charge a fee for their services.
For more information on those ballot measures, visit sdsos.gov. Reporter Casey Kelderman talked with the presidents of the College Democrats and College Republican groups to discuss their stance on the two presidential candidates. Here's more on the story.
Although Hillary Clinton isn't perfect,
I'm not saying Trump is perfect at all.
With Election Day less than 2 weeks away, many students at USF now wonder who they will vote for in one of the most divisive elections in United States history. I had the pleasure to sit down with both President of the Student Democrats, Ben Gertner, as well as the President of College Republicans, Elise Haugaard, to discuss their stance on the presidential nominations.
Well, I was originally a Bernie supporter at the beginning of the race, but now that Hillary is the nominee, I found that their platforms line up the best together.
I support Trump because he does stand for those family values that America has been founded on and based on for 200 and some years now, and just kind of upholding those standards that we've based our laws on.
Gertner acknowledges the flaws that Clinton has, but states that many of her stances on laws align with his own.
Her stance on LGBTQ rights and her stance on gun control and income inequality, not taxing the middle class but taxing the rich. Those are all things that I've found to be important to who I choose to vote for.
Haugaard states that she is voting for Trump because he upholds the standards of what makes America great.
He upholds Second Amendment and right to life for unborn children too, and just those constitutional rights that we have. So I do think he supports that and upholds that well.
Gertner mentions that many of Trump's business endeavors have failed in the past, and that this is room for concern in our nation.
On one hand, you have basically a person who was a celebrity and who has a lot of money and is a businessman who's lost most of his fortune. But on one hand you have him, and on the other hand, although Hillary Clinton isn't perfect, she's a public servant. She's served our country for years and has done a fantastic job.
Although Clinton may have her supporters, Haugaard believes that Trump is the right person to be the next president in the Oval Office.
Hillary has not shown any regard for law to a significant extent. She does not support life in the womb.
Gertner states that Clinton is a voice for the voiceless, allowing communities to be heard that otherwise would not.
Hillary believes that, no matter who you are, you belong in America, and I agree with that stance.
It is safe to say that students at USF who are registered voters are a part of one of the most important elections in U.S. history.
And I think that Hillary has said that this election will change the course of our history for one way or the other.
As a reminder to USF students and the community, Election Day is Tuesday, November 8th, and we encourage each and every one of you to go out and vote. For USF College Daily, I'm Casey Kelderman.
I don't know about you, Whitney, but I'm excited to cast my vote on November 8th.
Agreed, and for the results of the ballot measure, come back next week to see the results.
At that time, we will also have a new commander-in-chief. Thanks again for joining us today on today's edition of College Daily. I'm Jill Langland.
And I'm Whitney Fryer. Come back tomorrow for more campus news.